23. Just think about that number for a second. In the world of pro tennis, that's the absolute peak. It's the most Grand Slam singles titles anyone, man or woman, has won in the Open era, and it belongs to just one person. So today, we're going to break down the career of Serena Williams, an athlete who didn't just play the game, she completely changed it. And this isn't just about winning. It's a story about pure power, about resilience, and about rewriting the entire blueprint for what a champion could be. Okay, so to really get a grip on her impact, you gotta start with the numbers. And these stats are just staggering. They don't just tell a story, they paint a picture of total, undeniable dominance. Let's start with this one, 319. For 319 weeks, Serena Williams was ranked world number 1. That's, more than 6 years at the very top of her sport. It's a testament not just to how high she could fly, but for how long she could stay there. Just incredible longevity. And you know what? That dominance paid off. Big time. She raked in over $94 million in prize money alone. This made her the highest-earning female athlete of all time. She wasn't just smashing serves, she was smashing financial barriers. But her success wasn't just on the pro tour, right? The Olympic stage was basically another playground for her to conquer. We're talking 4 gold medals in total, 1 in singles, and then 3 more with her sister Venus. Together, they were one of the most powerful forces in Olympic history. And this brings us to something that is, it's just completely unique. A career Golden Slam, that's winning all 4 majors plus an Olympic gold. It's like the holy grail of tennis. Plenty of greats have done it in singles, but Serena? She's the only player in history to pull it off in both singles and doubles. That level of all-around mastery is, it's just never been seen before. But look, numbers only tell you part of the story. To really understand the champion, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. And her story doesn't start in some fancy tennis academy. Nope, it starts on the public courts of Compton, California. Yeah, her path was anything but traditional. Guided by her father, Richard Williams, Serena's training ground was a whole world away from the typical tennis circuit. But he had a plan. He believed that the tough environment of those Compton courts would forge champions. You know, the really fascinating part about her dad's plan was the balance. Their coach at the time, Rick Mackey, pointed out that even with this intense, world-class training, Richard fiercely protected their childhood. It was this crazy mix of pressure and protection, and man, it turned out to be a masterstroke. And that one-of-a-kind upbringing, it paid off, and it paid off fast. By the early 2000s, Serena wasn't just another rising star. She was like a supernova, ready to take over the entire sport. I mean, her dominance was so complete that the sport literally had to invent a new term just for her achievement, the Serena Slam. It's when a player holds all 4 major titles at the exact same time, even if it spans across 2 different calendar years. And here it is in all its glory, from the clay in Paris to the grass of Wimbledon, then the hard courts in New York, and finally, down in Melbourne. 4 straight, 4 major trophies. It was basically a declaration that a new queen had arrived. But here's the thing about true champions. It's not just about how high they fly. It's about how they fight their way back after they fall. And believe me, Serena's fall was just as dramatic as her rise. By 2006, things got rough. Really rough. A brutal combination of serious injuries, surgery, and even a battle with depression took its toll. She went from world number 1 all the way down to 139th. A lot of people in the tennis world, they wrote her off, said she was done. And the critics? They were loud, and they were not kind. When Serena said she planned to get back to the top, one famous commentator actually called her goal deluded. Most people were pretty much convinced her era was over. For good. And then this happened. This was the ultimate I told you so. In 2007, she walked into the Australian Open unseeded, ranked 81st in the world, and what does she do? She wins the whole damn thing. It's seriously one of the greatest comebacks in the history of sports, period. And listen, she didn't just squeak by with a win. No, she annihilated the competition. She beat Maria Sharapova in the final so badly that the press called it maybe the most powerful display of tennis ever seen. The message couldn't have been clearer. She was back. But that incredible comeback, that wasn't the end of the story. Not even close. It was really the beginning of Act 2. A second reign that would somehow be even more dominant than her first, and would absolutely cement her legacy. Just stop and think about the sheer force of will this takes. More than a decade after they coined the term for her, she went and did it again. From 2014 to 2015, she grabbed all 4 majors in a row, completing a second Serena Slam. To hit the absolute peak of your sport, fall off, and then climb all the way back to do it again in a totally different decade, that's just legendary stuff. It almost never happens in any sport. And, for all the talk about her singles career, we absolutely cannot forget about her doubles career. Teaming up with her sister Venus, they weren't just good, they were an unstoppable force of nature. The results, well, they speak for themselves. Perfect. They played in 14 Grand Slam doubles finals together. And they won all 14. An undefeated record in major finals. So when the stakes were the highest, they just didn't lose. It's that simple. When you look at the big picture, her career really kicked off a whole new era in tennis. An era defined by overwhelming power, off-the-charts athleticism, and a kind of mental toughness that let her come back from the edge again and again and again. And all of this, it kind of leads to one big final question, doesn't it? When you look back at a career like Serena's, what really defines her legacy? Is it the 23 Grand Slams, the weeks at #1, all those records she broke? Or is it the cultural barriers she just shattered, the doors she kicked open, and the way she completely changed the idea of what a female athlete could be?